As July winds down, the Ballers are up north visiting their rivals in Yuba Sutter for the first time this season. After a Game 1 loss in this series, Oakland aims to grab its first win of the year against its biggest enemy. Good evening and welcome to Bryant Field in Marysville, California, as the Oakland Ballers visit the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers for the second game of a 6-game series. I'm Nevada Cullen, and you're listening to Oakland Baseball on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. Last night, the High Wheelers' offense was too much for Oakland as Yuba Sutter opened the series with a 12-8 win. The Ballers scored first in the second inning, but Yuba Sutter put up 6 in the second to jump out to a 6-2 lead. And they would keep scoring after that. They scored in all but 3 innings of action, Yuba Sutter, scoring in each of the second, third, fourth, and fifth frames en route to a 12-8 win. The big bright spot for Oakland, the homers by Danny Harris and Dylan Tatum, and the scoreless inning by Tanner Shears in the bottom of the 8th. Can Oakland put up a few more zeros today with Noah Milliken on the hill? We shall see. It's time for the singing of the national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. Oh, Megan's doing it, who will be keeping score in this game. Megan O'Neill is the singer of the Star-Spangled Banner here in Marysville. Awesome job by Megan. Our own Megan, right? She's one of us, the press box people. And Megan O'Neill smashes the Star-Spangled Banner here before Game 2 of a 6-game set from Marysville. Here's the starting lineup for Aaron Miles and his Oakland Ballers at 45-16, 8-5 in the second half. Nick Leahy is the shortstop leading off. Jake Allgaier, huge game yesterday. The third baseman hit second today. He had 3 hits, a season high yesterday, 2 doubles and 2 RBI. Christian Almanza, the first baseman, hits third. Danny Harris, the second baseman, with a homer yesterday, hits fourth. Cam Buford, the right fielder, bats fifth. Dylan Tatum is DHing. He'll hit sixth. He also homered in yesterday's ballgame. Lou Helmick is the left fielder, batting seventh. Tyler Lozano, the catcher, bats eighth. And Darryl Buggs, the second, the center fielder, bats ninth. As for the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers, their pitcher today is Brett Wozniak. This will be the only time we see Wozniak in this series, and he has been one of the best pitchers in the Pioneer League this season. Wozniak has been the best pitcher for the High Wheelers, leading the team with a 3.41 ERA over 60 2/3 innings, which also leads the team. The lefty has a 5-1 record. This is his 11th start. He's given up just 18 walks to 46 strikeouts. The 23-year-old 6'2" 210 lefty from High Point University. He's from California, though, Garden Grove to be exact. However, despite his success this season, he has given up 10 or more hits and then 5 runs and then 4 or more earned runs in back-to-back starts, including Game 2 of a doubleheader last Wednesday at Rocky Mountain in a 5-3 High Wheelers loss. He gave up 10 hits, 5 earned runs over 5, and season worst 5 earned runs allowed in that outing, plus season worst 3 homers allowed, had only allowed 2 bombs previously. That was his first professional loss. Wozniak, the rookie, the lefty, will be backed up by an outfield in the left field to right field of Josh Duarte, Landon Wallace, and River Orsak. Then the infield from first to third, Gio Brusa, Bobby Leday, Parker Cadu, and Connor Denning. First time we've seen Denning this series. The catcher is Cuba Best tonight, and Best will catch Wozniak. The uniform matchup tonight is an interesting one. Oakland going with the Oakland stands-up uniforms, those black Oakland jerseys with Oakland in white across the chest with around the stomach area of the jerseys that fist outlined holding a baseball. Gray pants with the black jerseys. Leahy digging in from the right side with his green helmet. And then the military uniforms tonight. It's Military Appreciation Night. Army green uniforms for the Yuba Setter High Wheelers with a few military seals on the left side of the jersey, or you could say the right side, the player's right. And then the other side is that High Wheeler logo with the black cap and the yellow brim. High stirrup socks for the lefty Wozniak, who fires in a strike to get things going. 7:06 p.m. first pitch. It's a generous call to get things going from the home plate umpire, Jason Venson. And the next pitch is swatted foul off to the right by Nick Leahy. Thanks for tuning in on this Wednesday evening from Bryant Field in Marysville, California. I'm Nevada Cullen. Mike Russell is back at our 860 AM The Answer Studios tonight. 0-2 from Wozniak to Leahy. Is swung on and hit under his glove to shortstop. Cadu's throw is picked out by Brusa, one away. That was a worm burner past Wozniak under his glove, and it ended up with Cadu, the shortstop. It really flattened out. Umpires tonight at home plate, Jason Venson. At first base, it's Robert McGee. Bill Shortridge, last night's home plate umpire, is at third. 1 out, no score in the top of the first inning. Here is Jake Allgaier. Switch hitter hitting from the right side against the lefty Wozniak, who winds and deals and misses high and in with the 88-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-0. Allgaier on a 5-game hit streak went 3 for 5, a season high in yesterday's game. Next from Wozniak is hit sharply to second, gobbled up by Leday. His throw to first is in time. 2 up, 2 ground outs for the Ballers to start today. That was another fastball, and it was an outside pitch. Allgaier did the right thing, going the other way with it. Hit it 101 off the bat, but unfortunately hit it right into the grass. And so there's 2 outs for Christian Almanza. Scoreless game in the top of the first here from Marysville. Lefty-lefty battle. First from Wozniak is on the outside corner. Fastball at 91. 2 outs, bases empty for the Ballers. No score, top of the first. Almanza, a rare 0 for 4 yesterday. Usually is good for at least 1 hit. Almanza cuts and misses at a good low breaking ball, just tucked beneath the zone from Wozniak. He's way ahead, 0-2. Almanza stands in from the left shot. Open stance, waving the bat slightly. The 0-2 pitch from Wozniak is swung on and missed, and it's a rapid-fire first inning. The breaking ball gets Almanza swinging. 1-2-3 go the Ballers in the top of the first. No score here from Marysville in the shortest first inning I've ever seen. Just 3 minutes long, not even. We go to the bottom of the first. Yuba Setter coming up when you return on 860 AM The Answer. No score. Bottom of the first inning here from Marysville. Let's meet the High Wheelers, led by Billy Horton in his second year as field manager. They are 8-5 so far in the second half. Leading off, it's Parker Cadu, the shortstop on a 5-game hit streak. River Orsak, the right fielder, hit second. He homered in yesterday's game. Cooper Hext moves up to the 3 spot with a righty on the hill for Oakland. Hext is a left-handed batter. He'll DH. Cuba Bess, the catcher today for the High Wheelers, a rare 0 for 4 yesterday, and he cleans up. Gio Brusa, the first baseman, bats 5th. He also homered in yesterday's game. Bobby Leday, the second-year High Wheeler, second baseman, bats 6th. Connor Denning gets his first start of the series at third base, hitting 7th. Landon Wallace, the center fielder, bats 8th. He has a 5-game hit streak and has been tearing the ball up over his past 9 games. Josh Duarte is the left fielder, hitting 9th. So it's Cadu standing in from the left side against the Oakland starter, Noah Milliken, the first-year pro, 22 years of age, from Berkeley, California. 6'5" righty, 220, and a 2.41, a sparkling and team best 2.41 ERA this season. His first pitch of the day to the lefty, Cadu, is pounced on in a center field base hit. He got a fastball on the outside corner and just hit it off the end of the bat in the center. It's a leadoff knock on the first pitch of the game by Milliken. Cadu with the line drive single into center, brings up River Orsak against Milliken. No score. Bottom of the first, runner on first with nobody out. Milliken, 2-1 record so far as a pro, 7 starts, 41 innings, 37 hits, 5 walks to 45 punchouts. His first pitch to Orsak is flown off into right field, foul territory, out of play. Just onto the netting of the batting cage out and right, 0-1. That was a pitch right down the middle, 89 for Milliken, who Thursday against Colorado Springs went a career-high 8 innings. 0-1 in this righty-righty battle from Milliken. Is bounced slowly towards third. Allgaier only plays to first. He throws on the run in plenty of time, gets Orsak by 4 or 5 steps, and Cadu moves to second. It's a 5-3 putout, and there's one away. No score. Bottom of the first inning. Yuba Sutter gets a runner at second with 1 out in Cadu. Here's Cooper Hext, the lefty, against the righty Milliken. Milliken Thursday, I said, in the 8-8 loss to Colorado Springs, the knockout round loss for Oakland, he gave up just 2 earned runs in a career-high 8 innings. First pitch low for a ball at 91, the fastball 1-0. Milliken gave up just 5 hits over 8 frames, no walks, and a career-high 12 strikeouts, which was 1 strikeout shy of tying the Ballers' single-game record. Hext at the plate, 1 for 3 with a double last night. Scored 3 times, walked a couple times. Runner goes to third, pitches outside. Throw from Lozano is not in time. And Cadu swipes his 27th base of the season. That is second most for the High Wheelers. That is 4th most in the league. And Hext now, as that pitch missed outside, it's 2-0, and Hext has a chance to put the High Wheelers on the board first. He has 61 RBI this year, and he bats with a runner on third and 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. No score here from Marysville. The 2-0 is too high, way upstairs at 90 in the attic to Hext. We'll see if he sees something to hit here from Milliken. With Cuba Bess on deck, my guess is yes. On 3-0, he takes off the plate. It's a 4-pitch walk, and now it is Cuba Bess, the team leader in RBI, that has a chance to put the High Wheelers on the board first. Runners at the corners with just 1 out for the High Wheelers in the bottom of the first inning. No score between Oakland and Yuba Sutter. And here is Bess, who was 0 for 4 last night, did not drive in a run. That's rare for Cuba, who has played in 55 games and driven in a team best 77 runs. Left-handed hitter. First pitch to him, lined into the mid of Harris at second. Throw to first, hits the helmet of the runner Hext and goes out of play. A run scores, and that is just dumb luck for Danny Harris. Harris made the snag on the hard-hit liner by Cuba Bess, but a run scores on what has to be ruled an E4. Harris just threw it right into the helmet of Cooper Hext, sliding back late into first. Hext was dead to rights. And they award Hext Third? Really? Third base? Okay. That's again on the error by Harris. The ball did go out of play. First pitch outside, 1-0. 1-0, the High Wheelers lead in the bottom of the first inning. A weird start. The run comes in on an error by Harris. And the 1-0 pitch to Bruce, the switch-hitting lefty, flies it off to the left, 1-1. I might have to ask Kevin in between innings, who's to my right, the scorekeeper, scoreboard operator for the High Wheelers, about that last play. You rarely see what just happened. 1-1 to Bruce, a swing and a miss. Good pitch from Milliken. The changeup off the plate. It's 1-2. Hext is the runner at third. 1-0 High Wheelers in the bottom of the first inning. 2 outs in the frame. Brusa yesterday, 2 for 5 with a home run. And he grounds one to short. Late break from Leahy. Still gets there. Throws on the run to first. Nice play in the end for out number 3. And Yuba Sutter gets an unearned run in the first. It's 1-0. High Wheelers heading to the second on 860 AM The Answer. Top of the second, 1-0 Ballers trail on a Danny Harris throwing error that hit the helmet of the runner Cooper Hext and went out of play. So it's 1-0 Ballers trail in the top of the second here from Marysville. I'm Nevada Cullen with Mike Russell back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Today is July 30th, 2025, and it's time for Today in Oakland baseball history. What happened this day 1 year ago, July 30th, 2024? Well, the Northern Colorado Owls beat the Oakland Ballers 6-2. Christian Cosby struck out 10 in the loss. Brad Burkell had an opposite field homer, but what I want to fixate on, Brett Carson, Stephen Wilmer, and Drew Woodcocks on this day in Oakland baseball history all made their Ballers debuts. Now, Drew Woodcocks wouldn't be with the team long. He made an instant impact with a grand slam a few days later. Stephen Wilmer, his Ballers tenure was not as successful. But Brett Carson made himself a hero for the Ballers, as the first pitch of the inning to Danny Harris is low and inside at 86 from Wozniak, 1-0. Brett Carson made himself a hero because of what he did in the Pioneer League playoffs against these High Wheelers. 1-0 is a strike at 88, the fastball on the outer half, 1-1. Carson hit home runs in games 2 and 3 at Raimondi Park, including the only run of game 2. The Ballers won 1-0 because of a Carson homer. Harris fouls one off of himself. It's 1-2. And this is the time of year, of course, that we reflect on trades that have happened, because it is 1 day away from the trade deadline in Major League Baseball. And that trade last year for the Ballers, trading away Trevor Halsema, Austin Davis, yes, there were some external circumstances that enacted it, but it was probably one of the biggest trades in Pioneer League history. 1-2 is bounced to the right side. 2 hops to Leday. He flips underhand to first in time for out number 1. Top of the second inning, 1-0 the High Wheelers lead the Ballers. Base is empty for Cam Buford. But thinking back to that trade, it's crazy that it was basically a year ago today. And now, 1 year later, we're at the trade deadline just about in Major League Baseball. Some big trades happening today in the bigs as the first pitch is low to Cam Buford, 90-mile-an-hour fastball, 1-0. Two big closers shipped today in Major League Baseball, one day before the deadline. 1-0 pitch. Buford hits it back to the screen, 1-1. Got a fastball at the top of the zone and fouled it back. The first one today was Joan Duran, the Twins closer, the flame-throwing righty, shipped off to Philadelphia to become a Philadelphia Philly. They badly needed him. 1-1. Buford slowly hit towards short. Charging Cadu, his throw to first in time. And there are two away. The Ballers have sent 5 to the plate, and 4 have grounded out against Wozniak, and all have been pretty weak groundouts. 2 outs in the top of the second, 1-0. Highwheelers lead the Ballers. Here is Dylan Tatum, who homered yesterday. The other big deal at the deadline, or I should say today, before the trade deadline, Ryan Helsley, the closer for the Cardinals, is now a New York Met. First pitch to Dylan Tatum is popped up right side of the infield, just behind first. It's Bobby Leday, the second baseman, camped, makes the catch with his glove on his left hand for out number 3. It's another very quick inning for Brett Wozniak, who has seen 6 ballers and retired 6 ballers. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Highwheelers over the Ballers on 8:60 a.m. The Answer. Bottom of the second inning, the Highwheelers lead the Ballers 1-0. After a Parker Cadu run scored in the first, he scored on an error by Danny Harris. It wasn't really Harris's fault. He was trying to double up the runner at first on a line drive out by Bess, but the throw hit the runner Hext and went out of play. So as it stands, bottom of the second, and Leday, Denning, and Wallace, 6, 7, and 8, due up to face Milliken in the bottom of the second with a 1-0 Highwheeler lead. It's also time for Ballers Anthems, as I have a new song recommendation from the one and only Michael O'Hara. First pitch of the inning is a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, just low, 1-0 on the righty Leday. Ballers Anthems is when the Ballers, one player, gives me a song to listen to, and I rate it and let them know if they can be trusted with the aux or not. That's low, but called a strike on Leday, 1-1 after a good fastball from Milliken. And today, Michael O'Hara pregame was listening to a song in batting practice, and he said to me, "Nevada, do you know who that is?" 1-1 pitch. Swung on a miss, good pitch from Milliken. Fastball with a lot of tail to it at 91, way inside, 1-2. And I said, "No, Michael, I can't say I recognize this voice. Is this a band that I don't know?" He said, "Yeah, they're a bit newer. They're new age rock." Swing and a miss on the foul ball inside, 91. Still 1-2 on Leday. And then he revealed to me a band name that I was familiar with. He said, "This is Greta Van Fleet." And I said, "Wait a minute, I know that band, but I don't recognize this voice." That's because I've only listened to one song by Greta Van Fleet. 1-2 pitch from Milliken. Breaking ball outside. Leday checks his swing, 2-2. And so Michael, in telling me that, awoke a remembrance in me. Oh, yeah, I remember this band. I like them. I really like this song, Highway Tune, by Greta Van Fleet. But it's the only one I've heard, as the 2-2 is swung on, foul tipped Is that into? No, it's out of the mitt of Lozano. Still 2-2 on the day. And so I went to the dugout after batting practice and I asked Michael, okay, if I were to listen to another Greta Van Fleet song, what song should I listen to? And he recommended Black Smoke Rising. 2-2 from the righty Milliken to the righty Leday. Hit him inside with a fastball at 91, and that will happen to Milliken. A hit by pitch. Leday reaches. You look at the numbers at Penn this year for Noah. He hit 17 batters in 61 innings. So that is going to happen when he is not afraid to throw inside to righties with that fastball. And it's got such tail to it. Runner on first is Leday. Nobody out, bottom of the second. 1-0 Highwheelers. Denning is the batter. A lefty switch hitter, and the first pitch from Milliken skirts through the legs of Lozano. So it's 1-0 on Denning, who in 40 games is hitting .266, but has a .479 on base percentage. That's the best on the team. It's 1-0 as we resume ballers' anthems after this pitch. It's popped up left side, shallow left field. Helmick racing in. He wants it. He calls off Leahy and makes the squeeze against a tough Sun. And there is one away. Pop out by Denning for out number one. Runner at second is Leday. In the bottom of the second inning, it's a 1-0 Highwheeler lead, and Landon Wallace is next. Right-handed hitter against the righty Milliken. So I listened to Black Smoke Rising by Greta Van Fleet per Michael O'Hara's request. Now, Greta Van Fleet, that's new age rock. So it's like rock and roll music. It sounds just like it. First pitch. Bends in, strike one. Good breaking ball. Right over the middle. 0-1. I will say, this is the song that got Michael into Greta Van Fleet, and I can see why. The vocals go crazy. 0-1. In there, strike two. The fastball at 91 at the very bottom of the zone. 0-2 on Wallace. The lead singer, Josh Kiszka of Greta Van Fleet, can really manipulate his vocals to sound really, really rock. Harris creeping at second. 0-2 pitch is low and inside. 1-2. And it's a good song. I will be listening to more Greta Van Fleet, but I can't give it a perfect 5 out of 5. I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. I still think Highway Tune clears, but don't worry, Michael O'Hara. You deserve the ox for putting me on another Greta Van Fleet song. 1-2 from Milliken. Breaking ball, outside corner, strike three call. Milliken's first K. Wallace frozen. That's the second out of the inning. Good breaker. 80 miles an hour. About a foot of break to it. Away from Wallace and onto the outside corner. So 2 down for Josh Duarte, the left fielder, who we did see briefly appear yesterday as a defensive replacement. Right-handed hitter, swings and bounces one to short. Leahy collects, throws to first. In time, got Duarte by a step for out number 3. Leday hit by a pitch, but he's stranded at second base. And there are no hits in the inning for Yuba Sutter. They do not score, and they leave one. Let's go to the third. It's a 1-0 Yuba Sutter lead over the Ballers on 860 AM. The Answer. Time to start the third inning from Marysville. The Ballers trail the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers 1-0. I'm Nevada Cullen. Mike Russell is back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Thanks for tuning in on your Wednesday night on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. 7, 8, 9 due up for the Ballers against Brett Wozniak, Lou Helmick, then Tyler Lozano, and then Daryl Buggs the second. Helmick, 0 for 1 yesterday in a pinch hit appearance. Thought he had fouled one off of himself, but it was called not the case. It was called an out, 4-3 put out. And the first pitch today to Helmick is inside for ball one. That was an inside fastball at 89 to Helmick, who is hitting .318 this year in 55 games. Lefty-lefty battle. Next from Wozniak is outside. The breaking ball at 80 miles an hour. No chase from Lou, 2-0. Wozniak, the 23-year-old out of High Point University, spent 2 years in the Big South, pitched to the tune of a 4.71 ERA. 2-0 bounces in the breaking ball from Wozniak. Looked like he had a little trouble with his footing there, 3-0. Train goes by in left field. It'll make its way to probably where the old Bryant Field used to be. That's right, this was not the original location of Bryant Field in Marysville. Whoa, that hit Lou in the back. 88, and he tosses the bat aside and gives Wozniak a bit of a look. Maybe a playful one, maybe one filled with a bit of hatred there. And Helmick reaches on the hit by pitch. Brings up Tyler Lozano. The Train sounding its horn now as it passes by. This from Kevin to my right, who is the scorekeeper, the official scoreboard operator. Cuba Bess is being tended to by the athletic training staff and Billy Horton, the catcher today for Yuba Sutter. Hopefully he's okay. But this is perfect time to talk about the fact that, yes, the original Bryant Field location has seen some great baseball players take it. Looks like Bess is okay. According to Kevin, Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Jackie Robinson all played at the original Bryant Field, which was located on the south side of town near the railroad tracks. And rumor has it Babe Ruth hit the longest homer in the entire history of baseball at the old Bryant Field. I'll tell you why in a moment. Runner at first is Helmick. Here's Tyler Lozano. He takes in the dirt. That's 5 straight misses from Wozniak. 1-0 High Wheelers, top of the third, nobody out. Well, the thing is, with it being so close to the railroad tracks, Babe Ruth hit a home run into a passing train. And because that ball never stopped moving from when it left the bat to the time the train reached Oregon, some call it the longest homer in baseball history. Lozano takes a strike at 89, just south of the zone, but Jason Vincent's been giving that call to both teams at this point. It's 1-1 on Lozano. Lefty Wozniak, righty Lozano. Lozano hits lefty so well. And he cracks one in the air to right field. Orsak has to charge in, and then he makes the catch. Helmick with a late break to first, but he's back safely after out number 1. Orsak didn't look like he got the best jump on that ball at first. It broke in late. Lozano nearly plopped it into right field. Instead, he's retired. And he's stuck at just 19 hits and 40 at-bats against lefties this year. That's not too bad. Next up, it's Buggsy. Daryl Buggs the second with 1 out. The Train still passing through in the top of the third inning in Marysville out in left field behind the Dollar Tree. A check to first, and Helmick is back safely. 1-0 High Wheeler lead in the top of the third inning. Ballers yesterday, they scored first, but it did not matter because they got 2 in the top of the second but gave up 6 in the inning. Buggs with a foul ball bounced off of himself. It's 0-1. 1-0 Ballers trail the High Wheelers at the top of the third inning. 1 out runner at first is Lou Helmick. Buggs at the plate 0 for 5 yesterday with a strikeout. He had been hitting very well last week against Colorado Springs. And Buggs takes a slow hack at a breaking ball down and in and misses 0-2. 80 miles an hour the breaking ball from Wozniak there. A very good pitch. Not afraid to go inside on the right-handed hitting Buggs, even though Wozniak is a lefty. 0-2 pitch is next. Best sets outside, and the pitch is outside at 90 miles an hour. And low in the dirt, 1-2. Helmick was hit by a pitch. He's at first. That's the first runner Oakland has had today. Wozniak working quickly. From the stretch, the lefty goes to first, and Helmet gets back to the bag, standing up. If you're a left-handed pitcher like Wozniak, you can move towards home and still throw to first. The cutoff is 45 degrees. You can't go straight home. He does go home here, and there's a slow bouncer to third. The throw to second is in time. The throw to first is late. No chance to get Bugs. Denning to Leday for out number 2. Bugs reaches on the fielder's choice. Well, that gets the speed of Bugs on base, but unfortunately the 5-4 putout is the second out of the inning. Top of the third, runner on first with 2 outs in the top of the third inning for Nick Leahy. 1-0 Ballers trail the High Wheelers. Leahy hitting with 2 away. Grounded out to shortstop his first time up. Hit it under the glove of the pitcher Wozniak. First toss is bounced to short again. And off the glove of Cadu and into left center field. Bugs being waved to third. He'll get there standing on the E6. Cadu just booted it. No two ways about it. Off the heel of the mitt of Cadu, who was, to his credit, rounding the baseball. But he maybe just misplayed it, and it took a sharp hop off of his glove, and Leahy reaches on the air. He avoids grounding out to short for the second time, and now Oakland will look to take advantage after that 99-mile-an-hour ground ball by Leahy. And he ends up reaching on the E6. Here is Jake Allgaier, who drove in 2 yesterday. Hitting from the right side, the switch hitter takes a strike and challenges. But that is going to stay a strike. It just clipped the corner. Ooh. That's, I don't know about that one. That's actually out of the zone according to the 3D zone. As the pitch to Allgaier there misses. 1-1. That pitch was just on the edge from Wozniak. Now a cut and a miss from Allgaier, 1-2. One nothing High Wheelers here in the top of the third inning. Men at the corners for the Ballers. And Allgaier down to the count. With 2 strikes, he fouls one off. Off the netting, protecting the fans that sit off towards right field, down the first baseline. Now to play. Allgaier there chased a high fastball that would have been ball 2. Allgaier has driven in 2 runs in back-to-back games and is up to 4 RBI as a baller. Allgaier bounces one through his legs, 90-mile-an-hour fastball inside. Pitch high and away to Allgaier. 2-2. Good at bat here from Allgaier after missing a challenge. Ballers yesterday were 1 for 2 on their challenges. Another throw to first from Wozniak, and Leahy's back safely. Bugs the runner at third, Leahy the runner at first. 2 outs in the top of the third inning. 2-2 toss. Allgaier takes strike 3 on the outside corner. It is a called third strike, and that ends the top of the third inning. Let's go to the bottom of the third. It's 1-0 High Wheelers on 860 AM The Answer. Ballers do not score in the top of the third inning. Despite getting runners on the corners, they can't take advantage of a high wheeler error. I do want to clarify, I had alluded to the fact that maybe on TrackMan, that pitch that was called a strike on Allgaier and confirmed a strike, that it should have been a ball. But upon looking further into TrackMan, the system with the 3D strike zone does not seem to be working as it should. And so it said, according to my TrackMan, that ball was out of the zone. But looking at the other side of TrackMan, it looked like it was on the corner. That pitch was, according to TrackMan, touching the corner. And so we'll just call it a TrackMan error. And the Ballers do lose their challenge, and I think that was the correct call, a strike on the inside corner on Allgaier in the top of the third. Bottom of the third inning, 1-0 High Wheelers. The first pitch of the inning is flown foul off to the left by Parker Cadu, who made an error but did not pay for it in the top of the third inning. Shortstop for the High Wheelers, a single, the first pitch he saw against Milliken in the first inning. 0-1. The lefty fouls it back. 0-2. It's time to introduce a new segment here on 860 AM The Answer. Yes, late in the season, I know, but an old dog can still learn new tricks, and it's time to introduce a new one for you. 0-2 from Milliken is too tall at 90, 1-2. I'm going to call this, for now, someone, somewhere in the crowd. Somewhere in the crowd? Yes, somewhere in the crowd. That's what I'm rolling with. 1-2 from Milliken. Pitch is outside, 2-2. The changeup off the plate. And somewhere in the crowd tonight, there is a family of 4. Go by the names of Drew, Dixon, Dion, and Valerie. The 2-2 from Milliken. Swung on a miss, strike 3. The changeup buried by Noah Milliken. He gets his second strikeout, and there's one away here in the bottom of the third inning. 1-0 High Wheelers lead the Ballers. River Orsak is next. So I talked to a family sitting right behind home plate tonight, and I went up to them because I saw them wearing some Ballers hats and a Ballers shirt, and someone was wearing a Raiders hat too. So I knew they were Oakland fans. I knew they were here to support the Ballers. But who were they? First pitch fouled off. Good breaking ball from the milkman there. 0-1 on Orsak, who grounded out to third his first time today. 1-0 Ballers trail, bottom of the third inning. The 0-1 from Milliken is fouled off to the right into the Yuba Sutter dugout, 0-2. And so I was talking to Drew, the father, and he was saying that, you know, this is their first game they've been to this year, this series. They are from nearby Lincoln, about a 30-minute drive. 0-2, outside 1-2. The fastball from Milliken wasted away. And then I, was talking about their family, and I overheard something that Drew said that caught my attention. 1-2 pitch is a slow tapper on a breaking ball to short, picked up by Leahy. His throw to first is just in time, and Orsak thinks he's safe. I don't necessarily disagree. That was a bang-bang play at first. Now Orsak will return to his dugout to avoid being thrown out by Robert McGee. It was bang-bang, but to me, well, Billy Horton does agree with my initial instinct and Orsak's certain instinct that he was safe at first base. Leahy took a while to field that slow grounder, and Orsak, it looked like he might have beaten it. Orsak, with 13 stolen bases this year, that's one of the better numbers on this team, so he is one of the better runners on this team. And Billy Horton asking for help maybe from the other umpires, saying, can you talk to Bill Shortridge? Can you talk to Jason Benson? Robert McGee, though, not budging. And he'll stick with his call. So 2 outs, space is empty for the High Wheelers, trailing 1-0, or leading 1-0, the High Wheelers in the bottom of the third. And here is what stuck out to me in this conversation with some fans in the front row. Drew said, yeah, here supporting the Ballers. We're good friends with James, or I should put it this way. We're good friends with the first base coach for the Ballers. I said, you mean James? They said, yes. He, James Harris, the first base coach for the Ballers, is, or at least was, Dixon's hitting coach. Dixon, the elder son of Drew and Valerie. Pitch low to Cooper Hext, 1-0. 1-0 Ballers trail in the bottom of the third. 2 outs in the inning. 1-0 is outside 2-0. But yes, Dixon is just starting high school in 2 weeks' time. The young Ballers fan. And he is mainly a pitcher. He said he can play everywhere, but his hitting coach is, or was, James Harris of the Oakland Ballers. The more you know. 2-0 is popped up towards second. Over to Harris, and he makes the catch on the run out towards center field for out number 3. It's the first 1-2-3 inning of the game for Noah Milliken as we go to the fourth. 1-0 Yuba Sutter leads Oakland. And we go to the top of the fourth inning. We're a third of the way through here from Marysville on 860 AM The Answer. Top of the fourth inning here from Marysville. 1-0 Yuba Sutter leads the Oakland Ballers. I'm Nevada Cullen with Mike Russell back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Thanks for tuning in on your Wednesday night. Looks like we have some kids out on the field here in Marysville trying to hit the zone in between innings. There is a makeshift strike zone with 9 different sections on it with a shadow, a silhouette of a catcher out in right field, and they're trying to get it in the target, or I guess they already wrapped up because now everything's coming off the field. You know who can hit the zone? That's Brett Wozniak, the starting pitcher for the High Wheelers. He has 2 strikeouts and has allowed 0 hits through 3. He'll face 3, 4, and 5, Almanza, Harris, and Buford in the top of the fourth inning. A 1-0 lead for the Yuba Sutter lefty, the Yuba Sutter ace, with a team best ERA this year of 3.41. He has gone 6+ innings very often this year as Almanza hits it sharply to second. Leday throws to first for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Wozniak in the top of the fourth, and maybe that's how he's gone 6+ innings in 8 out of his 10 starts this season. Those quick outs will certainly help him to do so. That was 103 off the bat of Almanza. Brings up Daniel Harris the fourth against Wozniak, the lefty from High Point University. I mentioned he pitched 2 years there through 149 innings, and his first to Harris is called a ball. That was a strike really on the outside corner, but it's 1-0. Look at his numbers overall. They're nothing that eye-catching from Wozniak, but the 1-0 pitch is fouled back 1-1. But when you look at what he did against really good opponents and on those pressure stages, that's where Wozniak proved that he's a guy who can pitch professionally. With High Point, he was, the 1-1 pitch is low and inside, 2-1. He was really good against Ole Miss on February 23rd of 2024 after pitching 5 1/3, allowing just 1 run. High Point won the game against the Rebels. 2-1 toss is bounced to short. Backhand by Cadu. Long throw to first is in time. Picked out by Brusa. 2 away. Nice play by Cadu for the second out of the inning. That was High Point's first ever win against an SEC team. Wozniak's start against the Rebels in 2024. 2 outs, top of the fourth. Ballers trail 1-0. Still no hits for the Ballers against Wozniak, the High Wheelers lefty ace. Buford grounded out to shortstop his first time. First pitch to the righty. And Buford swings and pops it up behind second base. Leday is out, and he makes the catch while backtracking for out number 3. Another rapid inning for Wozniak. He has 3 1-2-3 innings today. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The High Wheelers lead the Ballers 1-0 on 860 AM The Answer. Home 4th here from Yuba Sutter, Marysville, California, the site of this 6-game series between the Ballers and the High Wheelers. The High Wheelers lead the series 1-0. They lead the game 1-0. They won 12-8 yesterday, and not surprisingly, it's a much lower scoring game today with 2 aces on the hill in Milliken for the Ballers and Wozniak for the High Wheelers, who has yet to allow a hit. 4, 5, and 6 drew up for the High Wheelers in the bottom of the 4th inning. And it starts with Cuba Bess. On this edition of Wide World of Baseball, we go to his hometown of Fruita, Colorado. Bess, the slugging lefty, lined out his first time today. And he is from Fruita, which is a home rule municipality located in western Mesa County, Colorado, in the U.S. It's part of the Grand Junction, Colorado Metropolitan Statistical Area and lies within the Grand Valley. So, as it is close to Grand Junction, and it's also close to the Grand Junction Jackalopes of the Pioneer League. And Cuba has probably some fond memories attached to their field, Suplizio Field, as Bess taps one off himself, 0-1. 1-0 lead for the High Wheelers in the bottom of the 4th. Bess leading off the inning. And Johnny Bess, Cuba's dad, coached at Central High School in Grand Junction. And so Cuba was taking BP at Suplizio Field, the home of the Jackalopes, as a kid. He was eventually drafted out of Fruita Monument High School in the 39th round, Cuba Bess, by the Rockies. Fouls one back here, 0-2. Now, Fruita, the town, has a population of 13,816. That was of 2023. An elevation of 4,508. It's bordered by the Colorado River, known historically as the Grand River. 0-2 pitch here to Bess. Is bounced slowly to third. The train horn blows. Allgaier picks up with the bare hand, throws on the run, scooped out by Almanza, not in time, as Bess reaches on his first hit of the series, an infield hit on a ball that was way off the plate, an exit velo that didn't even register on TrackMan. So, but Bess reaches on that infield hit. We can continue to talk about his hometown of Fruita, Colorado here in the bottom of the 4th inning as Bess is aboard with a 1-0 Yuba Sutter lead. Nobody out. Bruce at the plate. The switch hitting lefty. The first pitch is fouled off to the left, 0-1. Fruita not only bordered by the Colorado River, also it's basically on a plateau. The Book Cliffs Range on the northern edge of town of the Grand Valley. Next is a strike to Bruce, 0-2. But Fruita started out, like its name, as a fruit-producing region. Today, it's well known for its outdoor sports like mountain biking, hiking, disc golfing, and rafting. I could get behind that. I'll go to Fruita, do some disc golfing in the mountains. Yes, please. Train going by and left. 0-2 pitch, wave and a miss. Good breaking ball from Milliken for out number 1. That's his 3rd strikeout. And it comes with 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bess at first, the Fruita native, as we talk about his hometown on the Wide World of Baseball. I have 2 more things I want to talk about. First is the Colorado National Monument. That's a National Park Service unit near the city of Grand Junction. And that is basically the place to be in Fruita. Here's Bobby Leday, close stance righty. First to him is swung on and missed. The fastball at 91. Now the Colorado National Monument is basically made of sheer-walled canyons cut deep into sandstone rock formations. It's an area of desert land high on the Colorado Plateau with pinyon and juniper forests on the plateau. Runner goes on the 0-1 pitch. It's a ball. The throw down not in time and even evades Harris covering. And Bess with his stolen base gets into scoring position for the Fruita, Colorado native. That is stolen base number 8 on the year. So a runner in scoring position with 1 out for Bobby Leday. Highwheelers looking to add to their 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th. Again, talking about the Colorado National Monument in Fruita, Colorado. And Leday taps it foul, 1-2. The park has a wide range of wildlife, including desert bighorn sheep and coyotes, golden eagles, ravens. What are they doing out of Baltimore? And the monument's feature attraction is Monument Canyon, which runs the width of the park. Includes rock formations with some funny names. 1-2. Wave and a miss. Strike 3. The fastball at 91 that hit Leday this time strikes him out. And Milkman gets back-to-back Ks here in the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Highwheelers. 2 outs. Runner at second is Bess. Here's Connor Denning, left-handed hitter against the righty Noah Milliken. And I have one more. Oh, by the way, the rock formations known as the Kissing Couple, the Coke Ovens, and the less funny Independence Monument as the first pitch is outside to Denning, 1-0. But now I have to talk about, as there are 2 outs in the inning, Mike the Headless Chicken. I really hope I have time to tell you about Mike. The 1-0 pitch is low and outside, 2-0. Here it goes. Fruita is known for Mike, the Headless Chicken, who lived for 18 months after his head was cut off. Yes, you heard that. That's a year and a half. Lloyd Olson, who removed Mike's head, continued to give him food and water with an eyedropper. He grew to be almost 8 pounds. That's without a head. 2-0 is on the outside corner, I guess. It's called a strike, 2-1. And now, Mike, who went on to tour the country as a sideshow, Mike has, of course, sadly passed away since then. But a festival is held in Mike's honor each May in Fruita. Mike the Headless Chicken Day each year in May. Check swing on 2-1. That's, again, near the outside corner. Looked like it was outside, but called a strike, 2-2. Runner on second is Bess with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0 Highwheeler lead. Milliken trying to keep it at a 1-run game. Can he get Denning here on 2-2? Yes, he can. Breaking ball right down the middle. He froze Denning with his 3rd straight strikeout. The Milkman strikes out the side in the 4th after giving up a leadoff hit to Cuba Bess. And it's still a 1-0 Yuba Sutter lead heading to the 5th on 860 AM The Answer. All right, top of the 5th inning, and Brett Wozniak is dealing for the Highwheelers. They lead the Ballers 1-0. 4 innings so far, just 2 strikeouts for Wozniak. That's kind of what he does. He doesn't strike out a ton of batters. He's second on the team with 48 strikeouts, but shy of 7 strikeouts per 9 innings. So he's really having his success this season by limiting the damage. Back-to-back starts with 10-plus hits allowed for him. He's allowed 0 hits through 4 innings today. The Ballers trail the High Wheelers 1-0 at the start of the 5th. Can Dylan Tatum break up the no-no bid in the top of the 5th inning? It's Tatum, Helmick, and Lozano, 6, 7, and 8 against the lefty Wozniak. The first pitch of the inning is high and away, ball 1. The pitch count is very low for Wozniak. I'm talking 42. Jackie Robinson would be proud. 1-0, laced pass short. There is the first hit of the day from Dylan Tatum, right on cue. He opens the hit column for Oakland, erases that goose egg with a line drive single into center field. He took an 88-mile-an-hour fastball down in the zone and had no problem singling to center. He now has 3 hits in the series. Here's Lou Helmick, who is the beer batter in this game in Marysville. 1-0 Ballers trail in the top of the 5th. First pitch to Lou, drops in for a strike at 77 on the inside corner. Good breaking ball there. Front door breaking ball from Wozniak for strike 1. 1-0 Yuba Sutter, top of the 5th. Runner on first is Tatum after Oakland's first hit of the day, a line drive single to center. Helmick takes a strike at 88 on the outer half. 0-2. Helmick is the beer batter today in Marysville, so crowd gets discounted beer if he strikes out here. 0-2 pitch. 90-mile-an-hour fastball south of the zone, 1-2. Wozniak with that Army green jersey for the High Wheelers today on Military Appreciation Day. Comes home and misses in the dirt, 2-2. Rocking the white pants with the black stirrups, pulled high to the knees. White cleats. Lou wearing that black Oakland stands-up uniform. Stands in from the left side, gray pants and high black socks. 2-2 pitch from Wozniak is low, and Wozniak fell down and slams his glove into the dirt. Hopefully he's okay. But he was, I think, just more frustrated than anything else. He looks fine. But this is not the first time today that Wozniak, the lefty, has tripped going home. I don't know about this mound here at Bryant Field. If I have to guess, with the amount of times Wozniak, the pitcher, has slipped coming home, I don't think he likes it, at least not today. Payoff pitch to Helmick is called a third strike on the outside corner, challenged by Lou Helmick. And unfortunately for this crowd here in Marysville, they will get no beer in this inning. They'll have to pay full price. Lou Helmick walks. Ballers have 2 challenges remaining as Lou Helmick takes ball 4 off the plate. And that slip from Wozniak could prove crucial in this inning as Helmick walks to bring up Tyler Lozano. 2 on, nobody out in the top of the 5th inning. The first time that Wozniak has really been in trouble in this game. Now, he did have to face 2 runners aboard, but that was with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. And this is 2 on with nobody out. And Jerome Williams, right on cue, comes out for Yuba Sutter here in the top of the 5th inning. These 2 teams, Oakland and Yuba Sutter, have really carried it over from 2024. The High Wheelers, the champions of the Pioneer League in their first year. The Ballers in their first year made the playoffs. They were the number 2 overall seed in the playoffs. They've locked up the 1 or 2 seed in the playoffs this year. And Yuba Sutter is in prime position to go back to the playoffs here in 2025. And you look at how these teams are playing this year. The hitting numbers aren't crazy, although the walk numbers are great for Yuba Sutter. That's where they shine offensively, leading the league in walks drawn. Then you look at the runs scored for them too, and Yuba Sutter actually is 3rd in the league, so they're producing runs at a high rate. Ballers are middle of the pack, but it's the pitching that sets the Ballers apart. Yuba Sutter's no slouch either. 1st and 4th in ERA, Oakland and Yuba Sutter respectively. Oh, by the way, the High Wheelers are the best fielding team in the league, with Oakland not far behind. 2 on with none out for Tyler Lozano. Runners break, and the throw is to second base. Tatum not fooled. There was I guess the bunt coverage put on by Yuba Sutter The shortstop Cadu broke towards third. Denning playing on the grass at third base. He's looking for a bunt here. So is Bruce at first. Will Tilo bunt here? I'm not so sure. He's not bunting. The pitch is in the dirt, 1-0. Tilo is not a bunter as far as I know. He has one career successful sacrifice bunt. The Ballers don't exactly drop it down with the best of them. Their sacrifice hits this year are just 4. They don't play as much small ball as Billy Horton does, that's for sure, the manager for the High Wheelers. 1-0 Ballers trail in the top of the 5th. Next to Tyler Lozano is fouled straight back, 1-1. He's swinging away. 2 on, none out in the top of the 5th. The Ballers did not have a hit until this inning. They'll look to take the lead in this frame against Wozniak. Lozano against lefties entering this game, hitting .487 this year, 19 for 39. The lefty Wozniak's 1-1. Lozano takes in the dirt. That's a great hold, 2-1. Lozano also an excellent hitter with runners in the scoring position, .353 average. So you'd think in this scenario, with a runner at second and Tatum, plus Helmick at first, and facing a lefty, that Lozano would come through. As the Magic 8 Ball next to me would say, signs point to yes. Wozniak from the stretch, looks at second, fires home. Lozano hits it to the left side. What a play at third by Denning. His throw to second in time. Helmick is out. Tatum goes to third on the ground. Ball fielder's choice by Lozano. 5-4 the putout. And Helmick with a little bit of a late slide at second. Looked like he tried to break up that double play. Those spikes were a little high. Thankfully, he did not catch Bobby Leday. So Lozano, more often than not, comes up clutch against the lefty and can't really get the job done there. He does move the tying run to third with just 1 out for Darryl Buggs the second. Can he get one in the air here to tie the game? First pitch is high. A ball at 87. That really should have been a strike. Another missed call for Jason Benson. At least he's been consistently inconsistent, I guess you could say, for both teams. 1-0 pitch, and Buggs takes a strike right down center. 1-0 High Wheelers with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Men at the corners are Tatum and Lozano. Buggs has driven in 16. Drove in a few runs last series against Colorado Springs, 5 to be exact. 1-1. Buggs shoots it foul off the netting and then into the Yuba Sutter dugout off to the right. He was late on 86, the fastball right down center, and he'll want that one back. He's got to get it out in front if he wants to hit a sac fly here maybe and plate Tatum. He takes high, 89, way upstairs in the attic. 2-2 on Buggsy. Wozniak stands third base side of the rubber. Trying to keep a 0 in the Ballers score column is 2-2. Buggs fouls it back, stays alive, 87, again down the middle, and it seems like Wozniak's tiring a bit. His pitch count entered this at bat at 53, so he's still got gas in the tank, but he's leaving a lot of pitches over the middle of the zone. Will Buggs make him pay? No, he will not. That is a great breaking ball by Wozniak for out number 2. His third strikeout. Buggs falls to a knee trying to tie this game. And that turns it over for Nick Leahy, who is 0 for 2 today with 2 ground balls to short. One was an error, and the first one was a ground out. Ballers stranded a pair at the corners in the third. Here we are again in the 5th. And Nick Leahy takes 90 just above the zone. 1-0 after the fastball misses. Tatum and Lozano the runners. Wozniak again working quickly. 11 on the timer. He looks at first, he kicks, he fires, and Leahy hits a high chopper to third. Denning has plenty of time. His throw to first is in plenty of time for out number 3. Ballers get their first hit from Dylan Tatum, but they strand men at the corners in the top of the 5th inning. Wozniak through 5 shutout frames. We go to the bottom of the 5th, halfway through here from Marysville. 1-0 High Wheelers over the Ballers on 860 AM The Answer. Bottom of the fifth from Marysville. The Ballers trail the High Wheelers 1-0. 8, 9, and 1 due up in this inning for the High Wheelers. Wallace, Duarte, and Cadu against the Milkman. Noah Milliken, who struck out the side in the fourth and left a runner at second base. I'm Nevada Cullen, and I get hungry. It's time for Nevada's culinary curiosities here in the bottom of the fifth. And per scoreboard operator Kevin's suggestion, I went to El Torero out in left field pregame for a burrito. If you're watching on Flow Sports and you've queued it up to where I sound the same as the action happening, and you're watching on Flow Sports today, and then you can see El Torero peeking out from beyond left field. It says El Torero Fresh Meats and Restaurant, now serving breakfast. But I did not have breakfast. I had a real burrito. And the first pitch is outside to start the inning. Just low as well to Wallace, 1-0. And that's now back-to-back days for me with a burrito pregame. Wave and a miss, 1-1 on Wallace. Good breaking ball there from Milliken. Wallace leading off the bottom of the fifth inning, 1-0 lead for Yuba Sutter. And now I can kind of compare Fernando's Cali Kitchen to El Torero because I had a couple of burritos. 1-1 on the outside corner, the fastball at 88, 1-2. And actually, I might add, not only were they both very good, they were both very similar burritos, both with a nice rice and refried bean filling. 1-2 toss, wave and a miss at the slider. Beautiful pitch from Milliken. That's six strikeouts. That's 4 in a row for the Milkman. Bottom of the fifth, 1-0 High Wheelers lead. 1 out. Wallace strikes out, brings up Josh Duarte. 0 for 1 with a ground out today. He stands in from the right side. So now how is this burrito different at El Torero today than Fernando's yesterday? First pitch inside on the fastball, 1-0 on the righty Duarte. And the difference was the filling. Yesterday I had carnitas, which is pork. Today I had birria del res. Breaking ball called a strike at the bottom of the zone. That was a ball. Goodness gracious. It's 1-1. Huge zone from Jason Benson at times tonight, especially low. Breaking ball bounced foul of third, 1-2. And so birria del res, that's meat of beef, that is shredded beef, and it's also usually made in a broth called consommé. You might have heard of quesabirria tacos. 1-2. Little looper towards second, one hop for Danny Harris. Bare hand, throw to first in time. 2 down. And let me tell you, here on Nevada's Culinary Curiosities, if you ever go to a game at Bryant Field here at Marysville, check out El Torero because it's a pretty good burrito. It's just the same as, honestly, Fernando's. I thought they were both excellent. Very filling. Even though it wasn't the biggest burrito, it was packed with rice and meat and beans. Little pico de gallo as well. First pitch, hack and a miss on the low changeup from Milliken. 0-1 on Cadu. But does it scran? That's obviously the question. Is it good? Does it slap? Yes. Great burrito. Pitch is low to Cadu, 1-1. I've been in Marysville 2 days, and I've had 2 great burritos here near Yuba City. 1-1 on Cadu. The lefty takes a strike at 91. The fastball again low. Oh, my goodness. I'm not even counting today. There's been at least 10 missed calls already. Probably closer to 15 from Jason Benson. Wave and a miss. Strike 3. Big breaking ball. The curveball from the Milkman. He's up to 7 strikeouts with 5 in the last 2 innings. Little help from his friend Jason Benson behind the plate. And he pitches a 1-2-3 fifth inning. Let's go to the 6th. Ballers still looking for their first run. It's 1-0 Yuba Sutter on 860 AM. The Answer. Start of the 6th here from Marysville. Your line score for Oakland, no runs on 1 hit, 1 error. For Yuba Sutter, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. What are we, in the dead ball era? Man, this is a great change of pace, especially when it comes to pace of play. As the last night was 3:08 tonight, we shall see. Only time will tell, quite literally. Top of the 6th inning, it's Allgaier, Almanza, and Harris to face the lefty, Brett Wozniak, who has been brilliant tonight. Top of the 6th inning, nobody out. Allgaier leading off the frame. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. Switch hitter batting from the right side against the lefty, Wozniak. I talked about it, Wozniak. He was very good in college when it mattered most on the biggest of stages for High Point. His first pitch of the inning is outside 1-0. And again, he showed that against Ole Miss in college, the first High Point win over an SEC program ever. But he also showed that in the conference tournament in the Big South. Swing and a miss from Allgaier on the changeup at 82 below the zone, 1-1. He shut out USC Upstate on May 25th of 2024, 7 innings of work in the Big South tournament. Helped them win their first title in program history in the Big South tournament, as the 1-1 is high, 2-1, after a high pitch from Wozniak. And his success against Ole Miss, that wasn't his only successful start against an SEC team, as Allgaier bounces it 2 hops to third base. Denning picks it, throws to first in time for out number 1. No, that's right. Wozniak faced Vanderbilt in the NCAA Regionals on June 1st of 2024, and High Point beat Vandy in 2024. So another win against an SEC team, as they had 0 previously entering 2024. Wozniak got the start in both. He's dicing up the ballers today. Now he faces a lefty in Christian Almanza. Lefty-lefty battle with 1 away. And the first skips in to Almanza. The breaking ball in the dirt, 1-0. Almanza 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. Wozniak working quickly from the windup. 5 on the timer. Longer hold this time before coming home. Almanza nearly hit with the 90-mile-an-hour fastball in, 2-0. Almanza still without a hit in this series, despite Oakland scoring 8 yesterday on 12 hits. Almanza did not hit safely. 2-0. Almanza rips a line drive into right field. This could be extra bases. It rolls onto the warning track. It's picked up by Orsak. Almanza looking his way, slides into second base just to be safe with a 1-out double. The first extra base hit today for Oakland with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning. Almanza, with 15 doubles this season, moves into a tie for second on the team with Davis Druick. And that brings up Daniel Harris IV on that really looping line drive double into right. 92 off the bat, but it was off the end of the bat, it has to be said, for Almanza, as he got a breaking ball and he did not miss it. The hanging breaking ball caught too much of the plate. Now the tying run at second for Oakland. In the top of the 6th inning, the Ballers only have 2 hits in this game. Can they string a couple hits together here to tie the ball game at 1? Lefty Wozniak looks in. His first pitch to the righty, Danny Harris, is low, 1-0, 86 miles an hour and beneath the zone. Runner at second, Almanza. The Ballers did not have a hit until the 5th inning. Trying to tie the terms in the 6th, Danny Harris. Taps it between his legs, foul, 1-1. Harris 0 for 2 today with a couple ground outs. Ballers have had trouble getting the ball in the air against Wozniak. So much so, their only flyouts are pop-outs to second baseman Leday. 1-1 count, Leday. I don't know why I said his name. Wozniak comes home, and Harris takes a called strike below the zone. What else is new? I'll give Jason Vance a little credit there. That was a little closer to the zone. But still a ball, and called a strike. Runner at second, Almanza. Leday creeping his way, the second baseman backs up. The pitch is on the outside corner. Danny Harris challenges. And Oakland now has challenged 3 calls. And this is overturned to a ball. All good. They had it right here in the press box. It was a ball. Overturned, confirmed, doesn't really matter as long as the right call was made on the field. And it is now 2-2 on Harris. Of course.
2 challenges remaining, right?
Yeah, 2-2. Yep, still 2 challenges remaining for the Ballers. 2-2 on Harris. He avoids the strikeout there and takes ball 3 off the plate. It's 3-2, 91-mile-an-hour fastball outside, and Danny is putting up quite the battle against Wozniak. Harris attempting to tie this game. Had a game-tying triple back in June against Glacier. Payoff pitch. Harris takes ball 4. What an at-bat, what a challenge by Danny. He challenged a very close pitch below the zone and ends up walking. It's the second walk from Wozniak, and the Ballers for the 3rd inning today have 2 on. And this time, as was the case in the 5th, 2 on with 1 out, 2 on with less than 2 outs. At some point, if the Ballers want to win this game, they have to get a hit with runners in scoring position. Here is Cam Buford, who is 0 for 2 today. First pitch hack, ambushed into left center field. This is an RBI at least for Cam Buford. He jogs into second base. Christian Almanza scores on the RBI double. Harris goes to 3rd. We're all square at 1. First pitch ambush from Cam Buford, and he didn't even hit it as hard as he usually does. 91 off the bat, and we're square at 1 in the 6th. The second double of the inning, just lofted it really into the big gap in left center field. You have to respect the pull power from Buford. As a result, Duarte was playing pretty close to the left field line. And now there's 2 in scoring position for Dylan Tatum, and in a tie game, the infield is in for Yuba Sutter. First pitch, Tatum takes in for ball 1. That one just missed the zone. 1-1 game, Yuba Sutter and Oakland, top of the 6th. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, Harris and Buford with 1 out. Infield on the grass, Wozniak the lefty to the righty Tatum. That's outside and low, 2-0. Lou Helmick on deck. Could get a chance here with the bases loaded if Tatum walks. I don't know how aggressive Wozniak will be with an open first base. Tatum singled off of him in the 5th into center field. Same thing here would give the Ballers the lead. Tatum takes inside. 3-0. Now in this situation, does Dylan Tatum have the green light? The 3rd base coach today for Oakland is Jim Diedrich. Aaron Miles is under the weather. James Harris still coaching first, and now with a 3-0 count, it's an intentional walk issued as Tatum reaches on the 3rd walk from Wozniak. First intentional walk will bring out Jerome Williams, the pitching coach for the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers. And that will get the bullpen going for the High Wheelers as well, as Scott Ellis begins to warm out there. Ellis, a right-hander for Yuba Sutter with a 5.18 ERA. Coming off a rough start on, or a rough appearance on Sunday, though, against Rocky Mountain. We'll get to him when it's his time. Right now, it's Wozniak, as the home plate umpire, Jason Venson, will break up this meeting on the mound. So, here we go. Bases loaded for the Ballers in the top of the 6th inning. 1 out in the frame. This inning has gone ground out, double by Almanza, walk by Harris, Buford RBI double, and Dylan Tatum intentional walk on a 3-0 count. And that brings up Lou Helmick, who Wozniak has not retired today. A hit by pitch and a walk for Lou Helmick, who with the bases loaded is 2 for 3 this season. A chance here to put the Ballers in front. First pitch from Wozniak is low, 1-0. Nowhere to put Helmick in a tie game, 1-1 in the top of the 6th inning. Harris, Buford, and Tatum aboard. Just walked Tatum. He's missed on 4 straight pitches, Wozniak. And Helmick grounds it into the mid of the first baseman. The throw home is not in time. Harris under the tag. Ballers lead. It's a 3 unassisted putout. Helmick is retired, but that's his 43rd RBI, and Oakland is in front. Ballers lead 2-1 in the top of the 6th inning. Great play by Brewster. That was the absolute right thing to do with that hot shot to the first baseman to tag first base and then to try to throw home to get Harris. But the tag was applied too high from Cuba Bess, and Harris scores. Buford to third base rather. Tatum to second, and Tyler Lozano, first pitch, is a strike. 0-1. Ballers lead for the first time today and the first time since the second inning yesterday, in which they led 2-0 before a 6-run spot. 0-1. Lozano cuts and misses at a very good changeup off the dish from the lefty Wozniak. 0-2 Wozniak against Lozano. Lozano 0 for 2 today. Again, hits lefties very well and hits very well with runners in scoring position. 487 hitter against lefties. Hits with Buford and Tatum at third and second respectively. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Ballers lead 2-1. Wozniak way ahead in the count on Lozano. It's 0-2. The lefty from the stretch comes home, and Lozano hits it off the fist. Wozniak, the pitcher, makes the catch for out number 3. Ballers take the lead in the top of the 6th inning. 2 runs on a pair of hits, and they leave 2 more. But they lead for the first time today after being no hit through 4. It's 2-1 Oakland heading to the bottom of the 6th on 860 AM The Answer. Bottom of the 6th from Marysville. The Ballers lead for the first time today 2-1. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Noah Milliken still on the hill. I'm still Nevada Cullen. Thanks for tuning in on your Wednesday night here from Marysville, California. Game 2 of a 6-game set between the Ballers and the High Wheelers. Also the first of 12 for the Ballers and the High Wheelers over the next 2 weeks. So, get ready for more games like this. That's all I'll say. Ballers get the lead with an RBI double by Buford, RBI ground out from Helmick in the top of this inning. And now, High Wheelers have to get to work down 1. Good breaking ball from Noah Milliken for strike 1 on the righty River Orsak, who's 0 for 2 today. That was a swing and a miss. Next one is outside the breaking ball. No swing. 1-1. Milliken's pitch count at just 68 after he went 8 a week ago. 1-1. That missed low. Thank you, Jason Benson. Finally. I know the call goes against the Ballers, but I just want that pitch that's a ball to be called a ball. 2-1. Just off the outside corner, and now Lozano certainly thinks that's a strike because Benson's been calling it a strike all day, but that is, believe it or not, a ball off the plate. It's 3-1 on Orsak. Orsak, who homered yesterday, takes a strike on the outer half. It's 3-2. He sold it, tried to walk down to first, but no dice. 89-mile-an-hour fastball pasted on the edge by the Milkman, who has 7 strikeouts today and 5 in the last 2 innings. His payoff pitch fouled off. Went with the 91-mile-an-hour fastball, but a good fight from Orsak. Yuba Sutter's got the leadoff man on quite a few times today. 3 out of the 5 innings. Righty-righty battle. Milliken from the stretch, kicks, Fires, breaking ball, fouled behind home. Good fight here from Orsak. 2 ground outs today so far for him. He is very tough to strike out. Just 36 strikeouts and 236 at-bats. Line drive to short, plucked off the ground by Leahy. A shoestring catch for out number 1. Orsak with an awesome battle, but comes up empty of a hit. He took 91 just off the inside corner, got the hands in, hit it on the nose at 97 miles an hour, but lines into the glove of Nick Leahy at shortstop. Jermaine Cobb Jr. unavailable today due to illness. We hope that he and Aaron Miles feel better soon. Cooper Hext, lefty, takes ball 1. Good breaking ball, just missed around the same spot as that last pitch to Orsak, or one of the pitches is that at bat that Lozano thought was a strike. Ground ball slowly hit off the cap of the bat. Allgaier charging. Fields throws on the run. He got him. Jake Allgaier flashes the leather. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. That was a slowly hit ball, 67 miles an hour, exit velo, much slower than the 89 mile an hour fastball that was. It was at the bottom of the zone. And because of that, Allgaier had a very tough play on his hands, but he was playing pretty shallow. And he scooped it up while running, darting towards home, and then his throw to first was just in time to get hexed. Here's Cuba Bess, 1 for 2 today. First pitch to him, swung on and missed. The changeup from Milliken. 2-1 Ballers lead, bottom of the 6th inning. 1-0, or 2-1 Ballers lead. 2 outs in the inning, bases empty. So used to the High Wheelers being up today. Bass rockets one off into left field, out of play, 0-2. And Milliken has 2 perfect innings today and is a pitch away from a third. He has 5 different strikeout victims so far, but he's yet to get Bess to K. Can he change that here on 0-2? You bet, but it's through the legs of Lozano, and he has to pick it up and fire to first, and he hits Bess in the back. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that's happened again. So it's a strikeout, the 8th of the day for Milliken. And then Bess reaches on, I guess it's another error. No? That's tough. It hit the back of Bess.
I know it's a strikeout.
Here's Gio Brusa, who takes a strike at the bottom of the zone, 0-1. And again, no matter what, the sour part here for Milliken is the inning does not end, and he has to throw more pitches. That was his 77th pitch. He almost completed 6 on that strikeout. 0-1, wave and a miss, and he might just need only 3 pitches to get Brusa. If he keeps the pitch count at 80 after 6, there's no doubt in my mind he'll get the 7th for the 2nd outing in a row. Runner at first is Bess. 0-2 to the switch hitting Brusa, batting from the left side. Milliken's delivery is low, and Lozano blocks it 1-2. I think strikeout wild pitch is fair.
Is that an error on the catcher?
Yeah, we're going to have to put our brains together for that one. I've not seen that yet this season. Pitch in the middle of the zone, breaking ball, got him. Strike 3 called, and Milliken up to 9 Ks. That's just 3 shy of the 12 he had last time out. So Yuba Center gets a runner on, but did not pick up a hit in the inning, and they leave the runner at first in Bess. We go to the 7th inning, Oakland 2, Yuba Center 1 on 860 AM The Answer. Top of the 7th here from Marysville. The Ballers lead the High Wheelers by a score of 2-1. And there is a new pitcher for Yuba Sutter. It is Scott Ellis on for the top of the 7th inning. Scott Ellis, the new pitcher, relieves Brett Wozniak. The starter today was very good for the High Wheelers. He ends up going 6 innings and giving up just 2 earned runs, allowed 3 hits, struck out 3, and walked 3 because one was an intentional walk. I wonder how that is ruled. Yep, 3 walks in all for Wozniak. Very good day. A quality start with 6 innings and less than 3 runs allowed. Also, only 3 hits allowed. But he is in line for the loss. In a 2-1 game, the Ballers lead in the top of the 7th. Bugs, Leahy, and Allgaier due up against the righty Ellis. Sunday against Rocky Mountain, the righty Scott Ellis, 2 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, and a strikeout. Season worst in hits and earned runs allowed. Looking to bounce back tonight. He's got a 5.18 ERA. 6 foot 185 righty from Glendora, California. First pitch to Bugs is right down center for a strike. Ellis, 18th appearance, 24 1/3 innings, 26 hits, 14 walks, 23 punchouts. 0-1, 92 mile an hour fastball north in the zone. It's 0-2 on Bugs, who has struggled in this series so far. He's 0 for 7 with a pair of punchouts. Ellis looking to set him down on 3 pitches. His 0-2. That's just high and inside. Wow, that was really close to being a very good changeup. No splitter. That's a splitter from Ellis. That's got great movement. 1-2. Bugs takes just north of the zone. 2-2. 2-1 Ballers lead in the top of the 7th. Bugs over 2 with a fielder's choice and a strikeout today. He's leading off here in the top of the 7th. And Bugs fights it off. It's still 2-2. Ballers were trailing 1-0 until the top of the 6th. They got 2 runs on 2 hits, a pair of doubles by Christian Almanza and Cam Buford in the inning. Deuces wild. 2-2 tosses in the dirt, 3-2. That was the breaking ball from the righty Ellis. Bugs, right-handed batter, 23 years of age, from Atlanta. He was the everyday center fielder during his tenure at UAB. Payoff pitch. Bugs fights it off. 94, but right down the middle. So you can see why Ellis is used in this high-leverage situation. High Wheelers down a run in the top of the 7th. He's got a very good fastball. A lot of life on it. Now, he reminds me a bit of Caleb Franzen with the way he's locating. Pitch just off the plate, though, to Bugs, and he works the walk. Great at bat from Bugs, and I immediately rescind my comment because Caleb Franzen has only walked 3 all year. And Ellis, on the other hand, has now walked 15. But looking at that last fastball, 94, but right down the middle, that's been the problem for Franzen at times this year. And Ellis has to be careful with that fastball to not leave it over the heart of the plate because Oakland can do damage with that pitch. Runner on first is Bugs with his speed. Let's see if he tests Ellis here. Throw to first, and Bugs dives back safely. Not a bad move there, if I do say so myself, from Ellis, quickly wheeling around to first. Bugs this season with a team leading 21 stolen bases, tied for 6th in the league. First pitch to Leahy off the plate, the breaking ball, 1-0. Ballers up 2-1. Top of the 7th inning. Runner on first is Bugs. Leahy is 0 for 3 with 3 ground balls today. 1-0. Leahy takes a called strike. Beautiful pitch on the outside corner. That breaking ball is executed to perfection by Ellis. Leahy is 0 for 8 in the series, as largely the struggles from the top 3 in the lineup have struggled for the Ballers in this series. They did not have a hit yesterday, and Christian Almanza's double is their lone hit today. 1-1. Leahy takes a fastball on the outside corner, 94 on the edge. 1-2. Two-one lead for the Ballers in the 7th. Pitch from the righty Ellis. Leahy fights it off. Bugs was going. Still 1-2. Well, you'd rather that than a double play. Bugs will just have to use a bit more stamina to jog back to first after attempting to steal second. Again, 3 ground balls from Leahy today. Even more of a reason for Bugs to go again on 1-2. He starts and stops, and Leahy strokes it in the air to right field pretty deep. Orsak has it played perfectly. And there is out number 1. I mean, Orsak barely had to move. He was positioned pretty deep and right. Leahy got a fastball low and inside and somehow got his barrel to it. Don't know how he got bat to ball exactly, but he did fly out to right field for the first out here in the top of the 7th inning. Here's Jake Allgaier. Yesterday, a season-high 3 hits. Today, he's 0 for 3. Switch hitter batting from the left side against the righty Ellis. Runner at first, that's Bugs. 1 out in the inning, top of the 7th, and a spin and throw to first. Bugs is back safely. Bit of a cat-and-mouse game between Ellis, the pitcher, and Bugs, the runner at first. It is a close game, 2-1. The Ballers in front in Marysville. First pitch to Allgaier. Low and inside. You can tell Bugs' speed is something that Ellis is aware of because Ellis very quick to home plate right there. Best behind the plate is a good throwing catcher. Has caught 5 runners stealing as Allgaier takes high and away on a pitch out. It's 2-0. 10 for 15 are runners against Cuba Bess this season on the bases. That's not great. That means he's catching runners 33% of the time that they steal against him. 2-0 pitch is next. Runner goes. There's a called strike. The throw bounces on 2 hops from Bess. Not his best throw down. And Bugs is safe. That's a great pitch to run on, a breaking ball that caught the zone. 2-1 on Allgaier. Bugs now might just be 6th by his lonesome in the Pioneer League with his 22nd stolen base of the season. He is still the team leader. Buford was catching him, though, with 3 stolen bases yesterday. 2-1 on Allgaier. 2 RBI yesterday. No hits yet for him today. And he takes a ball in the dirt. It's a wild pitch. And Bugs advances to third. And now it's a 3-1 count. And a ball to the outfield could prove costly and give Oakland an insurance run here in the top of the 7th. Knowing what's at stake in a 1-run ball game, Billy Horton will instruct his infield to come in for the High Wheelers here in the top of the 7th with 1 out. Allgaier has hit 2 balls on the ground today, to second and to third. The 3-1 pitch from Ellis. Allgaier takes ball 4 way upstairs. 93, that's on the roof. It's the second walk from Ellis this inning. Ballers get runners on the corners for their RBI leader and Christian Almanza. And there is no action in that High Wheeler bullpen. It's up to Scott Ellis to get out of this. Jerome Williams, still in his dugout, will not come out to talk to Ellis before Almanza's plate appearance. First and third, the runners. 2-1 Ballers lead in the top of the 7th. First pitch from Ellis. Almanza takes a breaking ball just off the plate at 84. 1-0 to the lefty Almanza from the righty Ellis. Now Almanza, with a double in the 6th, is just 4 RBI shy of tying the Ballers franchise record. Can he add some here? Almanza takes a called strike at the very bottom of the zone. Perfect pitch. 92-mile-an-hour fastball from Ellis. It's 1-1. Almanza 67 RBI this year. Has not driven in a run this series. Bugs at third. Allgaier at first. Almanza takes again in the attic. That one even higher than that ball forward to Allgaier. And it seems as if Ellis is just overthrowing a bit here in the top of the 7th. Man at the corners for the Ballers. Almanza doubled in his last plate appearance. And he cranks one high and deep right field towards the scoreboard and gone. Christian Almanza
1 RBI shy of the Ballers' franchise record with a 3-run tater towards the scoreboard in right here in Marysville. It's 5-1 Oakland in the 7th on Almanza's big blow. A hanging breaking ball down the middle, and Almanza hits it at 108 miles an hour off the bat. 392 feet to right field. Launch angle of 24.5. That was a missile from Almanza. Brings up Danny Harris. First pitch to him is the strike. 0-1. 5-1 Ballers in the top of the 7th. They trailed at the start of the 6th, 1-0. 2 runs in the 6th, 3 so far in the 7th. 0-1. Harris cuts and misses on a fastball high and in. It's 0-2. Almanza with his team-leading 20th bomb of the season ties him with Cuba Bess for 4th in the Pioneer League. Oh, 2, way upstairs from Ellis. 1-2. Safe to say that Almanza was sitting breaking ball there. The fact that he hit it 108 is a telltale sign. 1-2, swung on and missed. Into the mitt of Bess. That's the second out of the inning. But the damage has already been done against Scott Ellis. After Almanza moves up to 70 RBI, that's just 1 shy of tying the Ballers franchise record set last year by Noah Martinez and Dondre Hubbard. Strikeout of Harris brings up Cam Buford. High and away. That's ball 1. 2 outs in the inning, bases empty. Top of the 7th, the Ballers lead the Highwheelers 5-1. 1-0 is next. Buford pops it behind home, 1-1. It has to be said that this 4-run lead for Oakland feels a lot larger with the way that Milliken has been pitching. If it were Wozniak pitching for the Ballers, it would feel the same. Both pitched excellently today. Pitched with excellence? I don't know. 2-1 is low on Buford. It's a hitter's count for Cam. 2. Yep, never mind. 2-1 is bounced to third. That backs up the third baseman Denning, and it's off his glove and into left field. Buford was trucking it down the line because that was always going to be a close play at first. I still would lean error there, but I'm going to leave it to my friends here in the press box. I wasn't. Yeah, it's pretty straight E5, yep. Buford reaches on the error. That was actually hit hard off the bat, 102, but he just hit it right into the ground, and that was a play that Denning should have made. First to Dylan Tatum is fouled back. 5-1 Ballers lead here in the top of the 7th inning in Marysville. Ballers attempting to beat the Highwheelers for the first time this season. These two teams faced off 36 times in their inaugural season last year. Throw to first. The pickoff move is not in time. Buford's back safely. It's been a rough inning for Ellis, and unfortunately for the righty, that is now 8 earned runs allowed in his last 2 appearances. His next to Tatum is high. The fastball at 92. And you can see why Ellis is pitching high leverage. Even the ERA this year, 5.18, that's solid. But ineffective today. 1-1. Tatum taps it foul, 1-2. And it was the hanging breaking ball to Christian Almanza that was smashed towards the scoreboard in right field for a 3-run bomb. But also, you can't forget the 2 walks in this inning. The first one by Buggs was fantastic on full count. He walked. Allgaier draws a 5-pitch walk. And those 2 make sure that Almanza has some ducks on the pond to drive in. 1-2 will have to wait. A throw to first by Ellis. This has been a long inning. The Ballers don't mind, though. They now lead by 4. 5-1 Ballers lead in the top of the 7th inning. 2 outs, runner on first is Buford. He reached on an error.
Tatum trying to make Ellis pay for his team's mistakes. And he fouls it away. 94-mile-an-hour fastball off to the right. Tatum was late, but he stays alive. They're showing some ducks on the scoreboard out in right field. My goodness, I love Bryant Field compared to UC Davis's Dobbins Stadium last year. There's just a lot more life here. Every game there was, it was like COVID all over again, 2020, with no one in the stands. 1-2, runner goes. Tatum strokes it to right field. Orsak looks like he's right there, and he only has to drift a little bit over to his left to make the catch for out number 3. Christian Almanza with a 3-run tater. In the 7th inning, the Ballers get 3 runs on that lone hit and strand a runner. That was Buford who reached on an error. Time to stretch here from Marysville. 5-1 Ballers over the High Wheelers on 860 AM The Answer. Bottom of the 7th inning here from Marysville. Hope you stretched. It's the bottom of the 7th. The Ballers lead 5-1. Yes, 5-1. They were trailing in this game 1-0 for the longest time. And now they lead 5-1 thanks to 2 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th. By the way, I had some people asking in the YouTube chat who was. They were asking. Let me see. I think it was Aaron Blaylock listening who said. It was just a great observation. I think he was the one who asked, no, this was Ben. This was Ben Verhoek, who said, who's saying let's go in the background? That was a great question. Ground ball foul by Bobby Leday to start the bottom of the 7th. That is none other than Rob, who is here in attendance tonight supporting the Oakland Ballers. Ballers fan in attendance. Not only is he Ballers fan, he helps work the games and tends tickets. Pitch is low from Milliken, 1-1 on Leday. So shout out to Rob, who was showing his Oakland pride after last night's game, high-fiving guys, getting on the bus even after the loss. Pitch low and inside for Milliken, 2-1. But yes, Rob is sitting, well, I guess was sitting right in front of me. He has since left his seat. 2-1 on Leday. Pitch from Milliken is a little flare to second. Danny Harris is there, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Before we get to scores from around the Pioneer League, a note on Noah Milliken. Goodness, he's been good tonight. 6 1/3. He's allowed just the 1 run. It was an unearned run, too. And Milliken has thrown just 85 pitches through 6 1/3. And now it's time for scores here in the bottom of the 7th because I forgot to give him in the bottom of the 6th like I usually do. First pitch, a wave and a miss. 0-1. After that, great changeup from Milliken to Denning, who's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout. 19-6, your final from Ogden. The Ogden Raptors beat the Colorado Springs Sky Sox. And then an interesting score from Colorado Springs, where the Rocky Mountain Vibes play, as that's a beautiful 90-mile-an-hour fastball in the inner half, a strike to Denning. It's 0-2. It's the Jackalope 16, Grand Junction leading the Vibes 16-6. In the bottom of the 8th. The Vibes are in the hunt for one of those final 2 playoff spots in this second half. 0-2 pitch from Milliken. Wave and a miss. That's 10 strikeouts. The breaking ball buried in the dirt, and Denning goes down for the second time today on strikes. Well, the milkman always delivers, and Noah Milliken has lived up to the name today. He has thrown just 88 pitches, and here is Landon Wallace. This could be his final batter. And Wallace is on a 5-game hit streak and has been torching the ball in his last 9 games. First pitch to him, swing and a miss, 0-1. Big slider outside, 0-1. 2 outs, 5-1 ballers, bottom of the 7th. More scores from you. A final for you. A final from Billings. The Mustangs beat the Voyagers 4-3 over Great Falls. 0-1, cut and a miss, 0-2. Boise beating Missoula, top of the 7th, 14-7. And Glacier in the top of the 9th leads Idaho Falls 11-5. Milliken, a pitch away from his 11th strikeout. Will he get it here? No, he misses low. It's 1-2. Landon Wallace's last 9 games hitting .514. 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts against the man they call the Milkman. Noah Milliken's 1-2 pitch. Bends in. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Challenged by Wallace. And that is in there indeed. Yuba Setter loses the challenge. Milliken picks up his 11th K, freezing Wallace with that big breaking ball on the inside corner. We're through 7. It's Oakland 5, Yuba Setter 1. Heading to the 8th on 860 AM The Answer. Take a bow, Noah Milliken. He may not be done, but if he is, 7 innings, 11 Ks. He has not thrown 100 pitches yet. We could see him pitch into the 8th for the 2nd straight start. And this young pro, safe to say, won't be in Oakland for long. As much as we love the Oakland Ballers and we love the Pioneer League, we know there is more in store for Noah Milliken, the 22-year-old from Berkeley. Already has a 2.41 ERA this season, which is ridiculous. He is, as it stands now, the best starting pitcher in the Pioneer League, which is, I know, a big statement, but you cannot deny what Milliken has done in his 8 pro starts. Here in the top of the 8th, the Ballers lead the High Wheelers 5-1, and they have scored all 5 runs in the past 2 innings. Scott Ellis is done. On for him, it's Yuba Sutter's 3rd pitcher of the night. It's Sam Drumheller, a Tampa native. Shout out to one of my best men, Austin, who lives in Tampa. I have very fond memories of my time in Tampa. I've spent many a day there. I'm from Orlando, though, Florida. First pitch is low to Lou Helmick, and that's how we begin the top of the 8th inning. 5-1, the Ballers lead the High Wheelers. Helmick has been productive today. And in this lefty-lefty battle, he bashes one down the first base line, foul, 1-1. Helmick today, hit by pitch, walk, and RBI ground out as well. Drumheller has a 9.31 ERA. He has an 0-2 record this season. This is his 17th appearance, Drumheller, as Helmick pops it up behind home, 1-2. 19 1/3 this year for Drumheller. 24 innings, or 24 hits, I should say. 11 walks, 11 strikeouts. Nothing special from the lefty so far this season.
very low strikeout rate, and yet he's a strike away from getting the beer batter as Helmick fouls it off to the left, 1-2. Drumheller just 5 and change in terms of strikeouts per 9, only 5 strikeouts per 9 innings. Hasn't pitched in a week, but he gets the K of the beer batter, Helmick. All right, $5 beer for the fans here in Marysville. Well, that'll play. All right, get some for my guy Kevin right here. He said, come on, bring it to the box. $5 beer for me. 1 out, bases empty, top of the 8th inning. Here is Tyler Lozano. Oh, yeah. Kevin's got a bell, too, that he rings in the press box. I do really actually quite like the bell as the first pitch is low to Tyler Lozano, 1-0. Ballers lead 5-1 here in the top of the 8th inning. 1 out for Lozano. Again, facing a lefty, takes high. 2-0. Lozano, a rare 0 for 3 against a lefty. Came in hitting .487 against Southpaws. That's due to come down to earth, I suppose. Lozano with a check swing at the 88-mile-an-hour fastball high. He got a little too aggressive there. It's 2-1. Ballers with 5 runs over the past 2 innings. Christian Almanza with the homer last inning. And Lozano swings and misses at a good changeup off the plate. It's 2-2. Drumheller last Wednesday against Rocky Mountain did pitch a hitless inning. Feels like Billy Horton's trying to get him his confidence back. Pitching with a little lower leverage as Lozano fouls it back. It's 2-2 still. Drumheller from Tampa, I mentioned. He went to Florida Atlantic, pitched there for 4 years. 4.46 ERA out of the pen. Made over 100 appearances out of the bullpen. His 2-2 is inside to Lozano, just off the mitt of Bess, 3-2. He became the first Owl to reach the century mark in appearances with 103. Payoff pitch is next to Lozano. And T-Low takes low. 89 below the zone. The Ballers grab another walk. Scott Ellis, the reliever for the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers, ends up just lasting 1 inning and giving up just 1 hit, but it was the 3-run bomb. So 3 earned runs on his ledger, 2 walks and a strikeout. The Ballers have walked 6 times tonight. They walked just 3 times last night. Matt Kavanaugh, over 5 2/3, did not walk a hitter. And here's Darryl Buggs. First pitch, breaking ball in. Really nice pitch, but could say it was a generous call. Low inside corner. It's 0-1 on Buggs, who walked and scored his last time up. That was to lead off the 7th. He came home on the Almanza 3-run blast. 0-1 from the lefty. Drumheller is high and tight. It's 1-1. I didn't mention this when Lou was up, but there is one little connection that Drumheller and Lou Helmick have. It's that Drumheller's dad, Al, was born in Würzburg, Germany. Buggs squares to bunt, and he offered. No. Buggs is furious with home plate umpire Jason Benson, saying, why was that not appealed to Robert McGee at first? And Robert McGee does eventually say that Buggs went. Jason Benson granted it to him, that appeal in the end. So it's 1-2 on Buggs. Al Drumheller, Sam's dad, also pitched 7 seasons in the minors. 1-2 from Sam. Swung on and missed. High inside fastball at 90. And Buggs is down hacking for a second time today. That's 2 punch-outs in the inning for Drumheller. Next, he'll face the Oakland leadoff man, Nick Leahy, who, it has to be said, has not excelled in this leadoff spot so far today. He's 0 for 4. But Darryl Buggs didn't either yesterday. He was 0 for 5. 0 for 9 are the Ballers from the leadoff spot in this series, as Leahy takes an 83-mile-an-hour changeup at the bottom of the zone. 0-1. 2 outs, top of the 8th. The Ballers up 4. It's a 5-1 Oakland advantage. 0-1 toss. Leahy tried to check his swing. Did he? Yes, says the first base umpire, Robert McGee. It's 1-1. Drumheller, I mentioned he's a Tampa native.
played at Alonzo High School, which is in the Tampa area, for Landy Faedo. Now, who is that? Pitch inside, 2-1. Well, he's the father of former Florida Gator Alex Faedo. And you know I had to bring that connection up because I, too, was a Florida Gator. And Alex Faedo, he's one of the most important players of Florida Gators baseball history. 2-1 to Leahy. Is tap foul of third, 2-2. Faedo was the 2017 College World Series most outstanding player when the Gators won their first and only Men's College World Series title. He was then drafted number 18 overall by the Tigers in the 2017 MLB draft. He has not panned out as a prospect yet, but he could one day, as Leahy swings and misses at a breaking ball from Drumheller, the Tampa native. The Alonzo High School product strikes out the side in the 8th. That's a good bounce-back outing from him again. That's 2 straight scoreless outings for Drumheller as the Ballers leave a runner with no hits in the top of the 8th. 5-1, Oakland leads Yuba Sutter. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning on 860 AM The Answer. Six outs to get for the Ballers. How many of those will be obtained by Noah Milliken? That's the question that remains. The starter, yes, the starter, Noah Milliken, still in. The 8th inning has arrived. It's 5-1 Oakland here in the bottom of the 8th. And somehow it's still Milliken for Oakland. I'm Nevada Cullen, doing the much less impressive feat of broadcasting into the 8th inning. Noah Milliken pitching into the 8th for the second outing in a row. He'll face 9-1-2 Duarte, Cadu, and Orsak here in the 8th. He's up to 11 strikeouts, Noah Milliken. He is just too shy, as his first pitch is a called strike at the bottom of the zone, 0-1. 2 strikeouts shy of tying the Ballers' single-game record set by Christian Cosby and later matched by Luke Short this season. 0-1. Is a rip ball to short, picked up by Leahy. His throw to first, on the money, 1 away. And as much as he'd love those strikeouts, you have to imagine he'd rather complete 8, as Milliken has thrown just 94 pitches. And that was a 2-pitch out to the leadoff man, Duarte. Leadoff man in this inning bounces out to short and brings up the actual leadoff man, Parker Cadu. He has one of just 2 hits for Yuba Sutter today against Milliken. The first, swung on and missed. A disgusting changeup from Milliken. Man, that pitch might be his best. That just tumbled out of the zone. This is his 6th straight quality start, Noah Milliken. Pitch in the dirt, 1-1. That was, again, the changeup. Milliken, Thursday against Colorado Springs. 8 innings. 5 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 12 strikeouts. Today, 11 strikeouts. 2 hits allowed, as the 1-1 is high at 88, 2-1. And Milliken has allowed a walk in this one and a hit by pitch. And I just named all 4 out of the 5 base runners. There was also a strikeout wild pitch. 2-1. Ground ball towards first. Almanza with the dive snares. Throws to first. Milliken covering for out number 2. Almanza picks up his pitcher with a diving stop for out number 2 in the inning. That is when you have a pitcher who's pitching deep into a ball game. Yes, Milliken's pitch count at 98 likely will not appear in the 9th. But a pitcher who theoretically could pitch a complete game, and your first baseman goes out and does that, hats off to Christian Almanza to make a diving play, robbing Cadu of a hit. Here's River Orsak, right-handed batter. Swings and breaks his bat. Pop up to short. Nick Leahy wants it and makes the squeeze for the second outing in a row. The Milkman completes 8 and does it today on a Greg Maddux-like pitch count of just 99 pitches. Let's go to the 9th. Ballers lead 5-1 over Yuba Sutter on 860 AM The Answer. Another new pitcher for the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers here in the top of the 9th inning from Marysville. It's the Ballers 5, it's the High Wheelers 1. And Cole Kalnin will enter for Yuba Sutter. Cole is a two-way player who has taken at bats for the High Wheelers this season, but does pitch more than he hits. As a bug falls on my scorebook. Get off of there. Come on. Enough of that. Fly on out of here. Cole Kalnin making his 4th appearance. I said shoo. That was Mike Russell back in our 860 AM The Answer studios with that sound. Thank you, Mike. I'm Vada Cullen. Cole Kalnin, the new pitcher, making his 4th appearance for Yuba Sutter, just signed on July 25th, and already making his 4th appearance. 4.5 ERA for the righty. 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Saturday against Rocky Mountain, 2 innings, 2 hits, no runs, and tied his season high with 4 Ks. Oh, he was not signed on July 25th. I misspoke. His first pitch is a strike. It's 0-1. He made his debut all the way back on July 13th against Grand Junction, in which he went 3 innings scoreless and struck out 4. His next pitch is outside to Allgaier. Top of the 9th. Ballers leading 5-1. Kalnin on for Drumheller, who pitched a scoreless 8th. And Allgaier tags one to left field. Duarte backing up onto the track, still going, reaches up, makes the catch on the track for out number 1. Allgaier stung it, 329 to left, 97 off the bat. But it's just a fly out and the first out of the 9th inning. Brings up Christian Almanza, who hit a 3-run homer his last time up. 1 out in the top of the 9th inning. First pitch to Almanza is low and away, 1-0. So Kalnin takes over for Drumheller, who struck out the side, walked 1, but did not allow a hit in the 8th. Making his 4th appearance, the righty, 5'10", Kalnin. And Almanza sends one high in the sky to center field. Wallace has it played, now has to drift in and makes the catch for out number 2. Danny Harris is next with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. The Ballers lead 5-1. And Harris is 0 for 3 with a walk today. Caleb Franzen is tossing a baseball to himself in the Ballers' pen. Noah Milliken may start the 9th. Danny Harris, first pitch swinging, flies out to right field. Orsak is there for out number 3. 3 flyouts in the inning, 1 to each outfielder for the Ballers. We go to the bottom of the 9th, a 5-1 Ballers lead. Will Noah Milliken emerge from the dugout? You will see on the other side on 860 AM The Answer. Noah Milliken trying to go where no baller has gone before. There has never been a complete game in Oakland Ballers history by a starting pitcher or even a relief pitcher. Just kidding, it's impossible for a relief pitcher. The Ballers lead 5-1 in the bottom of the ninth. The hook will be relatively short, all things considered, for Milliken, just because of the pitch count. He is at 99 pitches through 8. He has allowed just 1 run on 2 hits, and it was Cuba Bess who singled in the 4th. That was the last hit off of Milliken. He is due up second in this inning. The first pitch of the inning to Hext is low and outside for ball 1 on pitch 100. Next pitch from the righty, Milliken. Fouled off to the left, 1-1. It's going to be a tough trio to get through if Milliken wants to get the complete game win in this game for the Ballers. Hext, Bess, and Brusa. That's 3, 4, and 5. Hext today is 0 for 2 with a walk. The 1-1 pitch to the lefty. Outside, called a ball, 2-1. Good call from home plate umpire Jason Benson. Oakland still has 2 challenges left. Bottom of the ninth, nobody out. Hext leading off the inning. 2-1 toss. Is lined to short into the mitt of Leahy. And the Milkman records an out in the ninth. 1 away, 2 outs to get for the Ballers' first career, the first complete game in Milliken's pro career, and for Oakland, for the Ballers in their history. But here is Cuba Bess, who has 1 of 2 hits against the Milkman today. He is 1 for 3 with a strikeout. First pitch to the lefty is outside, 1-0. The Milkman has been on the money today. 11 strikeouts, just 2 hits allowed. Next, outside, 2-0 to Bess. Noah Milliken has pitched his team to a 5-1 lead so far. The Ballers looking to take game 2 of this series against the High Wheelers. 2-0 pitch. Bess takes low, it's 3-0. You don't blame Milliken for pitching around Bess with his power. 20 home runs, that's tied for 4th in the Pioneer League. .30 is next. Bess likely has the green light. And he takes ball 4 off the plate. Now that sets the pitch count for Noah Milliken up to 107. Is that all for Noah? Nope. Jim Diedrich is essentially the acting manager tonight for the Ballers. Well, Aaron Miles is in the dugout. I do see him, so he's not back at the hotel, so it's good to see Aaron. But at the end of the day, the buck stops with him, and he is leaving Milliken in this game. Here is Gio Brusa. First pitch, a strike, 0-1. So Bess draws the walk. No, that's challenged. No, Tyler Lozano saying he cannot challenge that. That's too late. Tyler Lozano is fighting back on that challenge attempt.
What are we doing?
Is that going to be challenged? Now, Jason Benson is talking to the other umpires. The thing is, when you challenge a call, it has to be almost immediate. And there is no doubt that Gio Brusa paused before challenging. It was called a strike at the top of the zone. It was a missed call from Jason Benson. Will he get the opportunity to challenge this? That is the question. And that is what Tyler Lozano is trying to fight for his pitcher, Noah Milliken. A point to the dugout. I'm assuming that means no challenge. So it's 0-1 on Brusa. That could be a big call, maybe in the result of this game, maybe for Milliken in this game as he's trying to complete the game. Big lead at first. Runner goes. And it's a ground ball to second, and it's bobbled by Harris. Throw to first is late. And it's all because the Ballers let Bess wander off of first base. And that will do it for Noah Milliken. Aaron Miles out of the dugout, points to the bullpen. Milliken's pitch count at 109. That was a ball that could have ended the game, but it's another error by Danny Harris that extends this game a little bit further. It's no complete game for Noah Milliken, but what an effort. He pitches into the ninth and leaves 2 runners behind him in his wake. 2 on, 1 out. Top of the 9th inning. Ballers lead the Highwheelers 5-1. And Shuey is on to get the final 2 outs for Oakland. We'll tell you about him and Milliken's day when you return on 860 AM The Answer. Bottom of the 9th, here from Yuba Sutter. And Connor Richardson is on for the save for Oakland. Not your traditional save situation with the Ballers up 4. It's a 5-1 Oakland lead. But with the tying run on deck, it does still classify here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Noah Milliken is done. He goes an incredible 8 1/3. It's believed to be the franchise record for Oakland, as Connor Richardson has to remove his watch on his left wrist. And Connor Richardson on for the save. He has 2 professional saves, 1 for Oakland that came earlier this season. Chewy with a second-best 27th appearance on the team, 2.67 ERA, a 3-0 record. 1 save, 33 2/3 innings, 30 hits, 5 walks, and 28 strikeouts. Chewy comes on here in the bottom of the 9th with the Ballers up 5-1. There are 2 on, Bess and Brusa. Leday is the hitter. Righty-righty battle, Richardson and Leday. Time is called now by Tilo. Not sure why this conversation wasn't had before, but maybe they're just trying to ice Leday, I guess. As for Noah Milliken, 8 1/3 innings. Will this bug get off of my scorebook? Please. Sorry about that. 8 1/3 for Milliken, 2 hits, 1 run, none earned, 2 walks, and 11 strikeouts, which is just 1 shy of his career high. Definitely career high in innings pitched. That is the most any baller has ever pitched in a game. And he does leave 2 runners, but one of those reached on an error by Harris, the second baseman. Here's Bobby Leday, the right-handed hitter, takes a called ball high, 1-0. Ballers lead 5-1. Bottom of the 9th inning, 1 out. Ballers looking to tie the series at a game apiece. Leday at the plate against Milliken was 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch.
The 1-0 from Chewy is fouled right back to the screen, 1-1. Lede 1 for 5 yesterday, so just one hit in the series in 7 at-bats. It was an RBI double, though. And these High-Wheelers are trying to rally in the 9th to either tie or win this game. Richardson pitched on Sunday for Oakland and pitched a hitless, scoreless innings with a strikeout against Colorado Springs. 1-1 is high, 2-1. He also pitched Tuesday and gave up a couple earned runs in an inning and 2/3. His job here is just to get the final 2 outs, and he has a 2.67 ERA this season. A first-team All-Star at the midseason point a year ago. 2-1 pitch. Lede takes the breaking ball in at the top of the zone for strike 2. Runners at first and second are Bruce and Bess. The milkman, Noah Milliken, nearly just threw the first complete game in Oakland history, if not for an error by Harris. 2-strike pitch, off the fist to short, caught by Leahy for out number 2. Chewy snapped the bat and brings Oakland within 1 out of a 5-1 victory here in Marysville. It would be their first ever win in Marysville, as this is Yuba Sutter's first year here. They played in Davis last year. Richardson against Denning. That's the battle. Tying run still on deck for the High-Wheelers here in the bottom of the 9th. 5-1 the score. The Ballers lead by 4. First pitch to Denning is a broken bat to second. One hop for Harris. Denning slams the bat down towards his dugout. He's frustrated because he bounces out to Danny to end this game. Chewy gets his second save of the year, and the Ballers win it by a score of 5-1. They even the series here in Marysville. We'll step aside for the postgame show, which will occur when you return here on 860 AM The Answer. Final score here from Marysville. The Ballers beat the Yuba Sutter High-Wheelers 5-1 thanks to an absolute peach of a start from Noah Milliken, nearly throwing 9 complete innings. He would have been the first Baller in history to do so. I'm Nevada Cullen, Mike Russell back in our 860 AM The Answer studios, and we cannot talk about this game without talking about the pitching. Noah Milliken gave up a run in the first inning. It was unearned because Caduce scored on an error by Harris. And then after that, Noah Milliken just started shoving. I mean, he was fantastic. He struck out 11 in 7 innings and then pitched into the 8th and pitched a 1-2-3 inning and then pitched into the 9th. We'll get more into that in a moment. But Yuba Sutter led 1-0 for the longest time because before there was Milliken's brilliance, there was Wozniak's. Brett Wozniak no-hit the Ballers through 4. And then in the top of the 5th, the Ballers finally got a hit. In the top of the 6th, they finally scored some runs. RBI double by Cam Buford tied the game. Buford's double into left center field plated a run. See you, Kevin. Dylan Tatum then was intentionally walked, and Lou Helmick, with the bases loaded, brought in a run with an RBI ground out to make it 2-1 Oakland, a lead that they would retain, and they would grow in the 7th. That's because they got 2 walks, Bugs and Allgaier, for Christian Almanza, who swatted a 3-run blast to right field, 108 off the bat, 392 feet to put Oakland up 5-1. And for Almanza, that is his 20th home run of the season. I believe
I believe that's also a Ballers franchise record, as he's now just 1 RBI shy of the Ballers franchise record for RBI, which is 71. So Almanza made it 5-1 in the 7th. Then Christian Almanza made it 5-1 in the 7th. And then Noah Milliken comes back out for the bottom of the 7th. He gets his 10th and 11th strikeouts. And then comes back out for the 8th, gets a 1-2-3 inning. And then you fast forward to the top of the 9th. And Noah Milliken comes back out. And you're like, okay, here we go. Chance for history. The Ballers going for their first complete game win as a team for any pitcher. And Noah Milliken gets the first guy, Hex, to line out on just 2 pitches. And it's like, all right, here we go. That's 101 pitches for Milliken. He has a chance here, but then he walks Bess on 4 pitches. At this point, I think he's at 107 pitches. Then Gio Brusa on a pitch where Bess is running to second, hits a ground ball to second, and Bess kind of hops over it. And as a result, Harris can only knock it down. And it's an error, 2 on for the High Wheelers, and the Ballers have to go to the pen with Milliken at 109 pitches. But Chewy comes on and gets the final 2 as Connor Richardson just goes 2/3 of an inning and gives up no hits and no runs and gets the save, his 2nd of the season. Brett Wozniak, the loss in this game, 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, and somehow gets the loss. Noah Milliken, meanwhile, gets the win, improves to 3-1. 8 1/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run, none earned, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts on 109 pitches. The best start in Oakland Ballers history. And the Ballers take this one 5-1. Your line score tonight, 5 runs on 4 hits, 3 errors for Oakland. Yuba Sutter, 1 run on 2 hits, 2 errors. There was basically no offense tonight, except that big 3-run bomb by Christian Almanza that made a big difference in this game and made it feel a lot more comfortable. That allowed Milliken to pitch in the 9th and nearly throw a complete game. Milliken again improves to 3-1. Wozniak falls to 5-2. Chewy gets his 2nd save. The game started at 7:06. Pack time finished at 9:29 for a total time of 2 hours and 23 minutes, one of the shortest games all year. On a 90-degree day at first pitch and sunny skies on this Wednesday, July 30th. The High Wheelers fall to 8-6 in the second half. The Ballers improved to 9-5 and 46-16 overall. The Ballers, the first half champions, are victorious for the first time in 2025 against their bitter rivals, the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers. Postgame show continues with scores from around the league and around Major League Baseball when you return on 860 AM. The Answer. Hey, post-game show wraps up now here on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. I'm Nevada Cullen. Mike Russell back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. The Ballers win 5-1 here on this Wednesday night in Marysville. Finals from around the Pioneer League. Other than this one, Ogden beats Colorado Springs 19-6. Grand Junction holds on against Rocky Mountain and wins 17-14. Jackalopes got a 10 spot in the top of the 7th inning. And then, let me look again at the box score. No, top of the 8th inning. And then Rocky Mountain got an 8 spot in the bottom of the 8th inning. And the Vibes, unfortunately, lose by 3. But good job by Grand Junction in that game to hold on after nearly blowing it. Billings beats Great Falls 4-3 in the second lowest scoring game of the night in the Pioneer League. Boise leads Missoula 14-8 in the top of the 9th inning. Apparently that one is not final, but it might actually be final from Boise, as the Glacier Range Riders beat the Idaho Falls Chuckers 11-8 in Idaho Falls, thanks to a big game from TJ Clarkson. Go figure, at the top of that Glacier order. He had 4 RBI in the game. Clarkson had a grand slam in the second, go-ahead grand slam at the time. And then Jack Lynch eventually had the 6th inning go-ahead hit, and Glacier would hold on to win 11-8 in the end. Those are your scores from around the Pioneer League tonight. Now for Major League Baseball. The Blue Jays beat the Orioles 9-8 in Baltimore to avoid the mop. A 4-game sweep was on the cards there for Baltimore. The Tigers beat the Diamondbacks 7-2. Riley Green's mustache continues to be the lucky stash. Houston beats Washington 9-1 in Houston. Red Sox go into Minnesota and win 13-1 on a day where the Twins traded John Duran. Royals shut out the Braves 1-0. Royals continuing to push for the playoffs. White Sox beat the Phillies 9-3. So much for the White Sox scored 7 in the 7th. John Duran can't arrive soon enough in Philadelphia. The Cubs beat the Brewers 10-3 in Milwaukee. The Giants, unfortunately, lose to the Pirates today 2-1 in 10. Yikes. 5-0 win for the Padres in San Diego. Guardians also win 5-zip, this time against the Rockies. The Yankees outlast the Rays. They walk it off in 11, 5-4. The Reds beat the Dodgers today 5-2. The Rangers on top of the Angels 6-3. The Marlins beat the Cardinals, blanking them 2-0. And your final from Sacramento. The A's beat the Mariners 5-4. Those are your scores from today. Again, your score here. The Oakland Ballers beat the Yuba Sutter High Wheelers as the train goes by in Marysville by a score of 5-1. Noah Milliken comes just 2 outs shy from the first complete game in Oakland Ballers history. That does it for today's broadcast here from Marysville, California. Our final score, Oakland 5, Yuba Sutter 1, a final in 9 innings. Big thanks to those who helped make the broadcast possible, including Ballers co-founders Paul Friedman and Brian Carmel, Ballers Assistant General Manager Tyler Peterson, Brennan Colthurst, and back in our 860 AM The Answer Studios, it's Mike Russell. Also, big thanks to you, the listener. We'll have more baseball coming up. Our coverage of Thursday's Game 3 of the 6-game set will start at 7 p.m. pack time on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. We hope that you can join us. Again, our final score, the Ballers 5, the High Wheelers 1. The first win for Oakland this year against its biggest rival. I'm Nevada Collins saying so long, and thanks for listening to Oakland Baseball on 860 AM The Answer.